What's up, Internet Land? Zachamus Prime, aka Zachamus Prime, here with another Transformers third party review. And today, the figure we're going to be reviewing came out a few years ago. It's on loan to me from my buddy Mike. This is the Maketoys Rioter Despotron. And this is actually. So I got Striker Manus, and I got. What do they call the other one? Stealth. I got the Black Striker Manus. And I thought they were both really, really well done figures. And then I recently ended up getting the the stealth. What's his name? Gosh, I can't remember anything right now. They're Jetfire for this line, but he's in black, and he's sitting on my shelf looking awfully pretty. But I've been a big fan of this series, and I've been looking for a Despotron for a good price. At the same time that I have money, and it seems whenever I find one, I don't have the money, and whenever I have the money, I find something else. So, anyhow, I've got this. This is on loan to me from my friend, and I'm going to review it because I think it's pretty swanky. But yeah, first and foremost, just the general aesthetics of it. I really, really just like the harsh, jagged, stylized look of the cross dimension series. It looks cool. And in this figure especially, I really love, especially down here where you've got the red shining through on all the black parts. Looks great. But I like it. Just looks cool. In terms of accessories, this guy comes with a couple of them. First of all, he comes with an actual Matrix, which is odd because Striker Manus didn't come with a Matrix. That's because if you read the little comic that comes with it, Megatron freaking stole the Matrix from him. So there it is. It's like a dark Matrix sort of thing that will fit in his chest area here and close up. One of the accessories that this figure comes with that I don't have is so when he doesn't have this matrix, his chest just looks like it looks gray, and there's actually a gray piece to replace that. And then when he has this on him, it's supposed to make this, purple shine on his chest. So that's an accessory that I don't have on me. He also, if you pull this off, has a sword. And this sword is molded all in one piece of translucent purple plastic. And it's got that tab system down there. It'll plug right into his hand. It's kind of swanky. I don't know if I like it quite as much as the cool katana style samurai swords that the Black Manus came with. But because that came with this weapon set, and I think you could buy that weapon set separately. I'm not sure 100% though. But it's a good looking sword, and I like the clear plastic. It looks cool. But that you can just hang on to it, or you can pull off the back of his gun, and it'll stow right in there. Plug that back on. Swanky. I dig it. Little details like that. In terms of posability, his head is on a ball joint. It looks down a whole lot. It looks up a little bit. His head, wiggles a little bit side to side, rotates just freely, which is what we all really want a neck joint to do. Arms go around all the way. He's got this little shoulder section rotates separately, and then you've got this little flap on the side here. So with all of that in mind, his arm will go out quite a bit. He's got an upper bicep swivel here. He's got an elbow joint with a single bend, but it's a really, really deep bend. His wrist is on a swivel, and he's got 3 fingers connected and 1 finger by itself, just a single joint on them all. his waist. Well, this thing is supposed to stay tabbed in here. He's got a little bit of bend here. I think if you untab this, maybe he... No. Yeah. If you untab this, he unlocks a little bit of extra bend here. Not as much as Striker Madness, but, you know. We can't all be perfect, right? Waist joint swivels just nicely. He's got all these little armors here on his waist to bring those up. And his leg will go that far forward, that far back. Goes out for a full Van Damme. He's got a swivel right up here at the hip. He's got a bend, so this joint bends about 90 degrees, but if you allow that to disconnect from inside, it will bend really deeply, which is good. I mean, I don't think that looks awful. It's a little disconcerting having his knee bending from down here instead of up here, but you know, I think we can all survive. He's got a universal joint here on his ankle, so he's got a pivot here, plus a rotation here. These little ankle armors will get out of the way as they need to, plus a pivot on both his heel and his toe. So a good amount of posability, and that's really what this line is designed for. Is designed for posability first, aesthetics second, and then, you know, of course, you got to make them transform too. Otherwise, you can't really call it a transformer. But just really cool looking. I dig it. There are several different options you can get with this. You can have his guns off like this, or you can take these ones and you can load these up on there like so. So you can have guns on both sides. Or you can flip these around. And this is the transformation that to turn him into his gun mode is how you do it. Fold his hand in like that, and then this little tab fits in that slot right there, and you can have like gun arms on both arms, or you can take. You can plug one of these into that side, and then you can plug the other one. Let me just borrow this. Excuse me, Megatron. Open sesame. There we go. You can plug one into that side, and plug one into that side. Oh, that one doesn't want to plug. Yes, it does. And then he can have like a really big gun, which you can plug in up on his arm like this, or you can plug it in right here. But I think that's getting to the point where it's just starting to look ridiculous how long that gun is looking. But yeah, you can also, of course, do it this way, or you can flip it around and do it that way, though I think it looks much better with the big end facing out, because I think that's how it's supposed to go anyhow. And if you've got these on his shoulder, on his hands, then you can store that on his back. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. And as Emgo likes to say, options are good. But sorry, Emgo, I stole that without your permission. But anyhow, let's get him transformed up. So what we're going to do is we're going to transfer these little barrels onto his arms. Like so. And then just like I showed before, you're going to fold in his wrist, which is going to put this tab to bear. That tab will go right into that slot on the barrel. Lock that all together. This little hatch to pull open, it's kind of stiff. It's kind of tight. So be careful with that. So now he can dual wield his cannon arms. He can be like Mega Man. Mega Man times 2. Dual Mega Mans. So what we want to do is we want to open up these panels to pull out this section on his chest, and that's going to allow us to bring all this like so. And then we want to close this back up, put his head down into that spot. You want to take and unfold these sections here from the back, up like that, up like that. And bring these down and around, and then like so. These are going to just kind of slide in and hang out in there to kind of fill up that spot. Like that. This is going to fold down onto itself. Whoops, no. It's going to fold down onto itself like that. This piece right here is going to kind of fold together, come around, and then this, you'll see here that you can bend this around. You want the end of this tab to fit into that little slot right there in his chest cavity. And now what you want to do is you'll see that his knees are asymmetrical. This is like a little trigger assembly. You want to have that leg be facing forwards down towards the barrel. And then you want to bring his leg out all the way, rotate it right here. You're gonna put his heel up like so and put his toe into that. And then you're gonna take these little tabs right here on his thigh. They're gonna go into those slots, and then these tabs are gonna go into those slots. Like that, and like that. Bam and bam. Did I do this wrong? I did. I did this wrong. Aside from the knee, his legs are symmetrical, which is an interesting little factoid, because you could transform it wrong and not realize it until you're like, oh yeah. So the leg with the trigger assembly, that's the one that becomes the handle, not the one that goes forward onto the barrel. So, my bad. Yikes. Alright, so that goes like that. And then this leg here, you're going to turn it like that, and then you're going to yank on this piece right here, right at the knee. You'll see these little notches around the knee. That's because the leg joint has got this little tab, and you're going to pull on that, rotate it 180 degrees, and then click it back into place. And now you can take his knee and bend it up on his little knee jointies. And these little tabs right here are going to plug into these little holes right here on his dick plate. Like so. And then this guy, this little trigger assembly, you can see it's got tabs as well. That's going to come up and plug into the other set of holes on his dick plate. And that's going to get everything all tabbed in together. Ta-da! Then you want to take his leg here, his foot, rotate that around. Then this tab on the top of his foot is going to fit into this slot right here on the inside of the back of his leg. It's going to fit in just like that. Going to kind of tuck these in like that. Slide this scope onto that rail just like so. And there you have him in his gun mode. And he's a pretty good looking gun mode, you know. Of course, I differ from a lot of people's opinions in that I think that Megatron turning into a gun is a terrible idea. Basically, you've got the most powerful Decepticon in the Decepticon army, the leader of them all, a self-made bot, just completely powerful, completely badass, turning into what is little more than a tool in someone else's hands. Generally, someone else that he doesn't even trust. And I just think that's very uncharacteristic for him. But I also recognize that because the original G1 toy turned into a gun, like that's kind of a design homage harkening back to that. So his little trigger assembly is spring loaded, so you can push on that and pretend that you're pew-pewing at people. All in all, it's not a terrible looking little ray gun. I dig it. I probably wouldn't keep it in this mode, but I like that it, of course, does transform. If they had designed it to also have a tank mode, and I have seen fan modes for this figure, to turn him into some semblance of a tank, I think that'd be cool, but I didn't study them close enough to show them off here, and showing off fan modes is not usually something I do here anyhow. So anyhow, that's my review of the Maketoys Rioter Despotron. Thanks for watching, guys. Go ahead and leave me a like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. You guys are amazing. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya.